Hey. Welcome to Front Row Promotions. I am Lisa Melchert. And with me, my sidekick, my beautiful sidekick, is Kandi Burton over there.
Hello, it is hot as balls up here in Toronto, but I'm here and ready to have a good time.
I got my air on, but hopefully, it'll stay cool with all the hair hanging down. And our guest tonight is Toney Richards from Wikkid Starr. How are you doing, Toney?
Pretty damn good. It's Thursday. Wish it was Friday, but we're getting there.
That's right. One more day to the weekend, and we all going to go out and party. Get your drink on. I'm going to get my rock on, dancing, stuff like that. Awesome. So tell us about Toney Richards.
What do you want to know?
There's a lot of questions that we have ready for you.
So go ahead. I'm ready.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your history, like how you kind of got started in the business, and maybe talk about your musical inspirations too, like who got you to do something like this?
Okay. Well, we got to go back to like the first band I was ever in. That was Torn Image, and that was probably around 85, 86. So that's when I started taking it seriously and getting out there and performing. And how it started was it was a lot of backyard bashes back then. Because I grew up in, and Van Halen were the ones that popularized that, especially in the area that I grew up in, because they were like, they were gods. More so than Motley Crue, because Motley Crue was, also making it big around the same time. But that's when it started. And then I didn't really start playing clubs until like late 86. I think the first club I ever played was a place called the Jukebox out in Fontana. We'd call it Fontucky because it was out in the boonies.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people that remember that place and grew up in that area probably know about the Jukebox. But if you grew up in LA, you probably didn't because it was too far away. And then the first place in Hollywood that I played was Gazzari's, and then the Whiskey. So that was my introduction to the club circuit in Hollywood, on the Sunset Strip. So it started in 87 for me. And then that's how it began, really. I was like one of many bands that was trying to make it back then. I was in a band called Starr. We were a 5-piece, and it was commercial hard rock, I guess is what you would label it.
Yeah.
But we did well, but we didn't get a record deal because we were, just being irresponsible a little too much and not really focusing our energy on, writing hit songs and things like that. And I think the vices and stuff got in the way, and then other extracurricular activities and stuff that people get involved with started making it difficult, I guess, for us to continue on and stuff. And then eventually the band broke up and everybody kind of went their own way, and I ended up joining a metal band after that was real like heavy metal type of stuff. My guitar player was a shredder. He reminded me a lot of Yngwie Malmsteen.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, but the bass player and the drummer, were playing like a real heavy rhythm section. So it wasn't fluff. It was a little on the heavier side, heavier than Yngwie for sure. But Gary played that style of guitar.
Okay.
So it made it interesting. But
you look a little bit like Yngwie.
Okay, thank you. I think. No, I'm not talking shit. No, Yngwie's a great guitar player. I mean, I'm more of an Eddie Van Halen fan though, and that's one of the reasons why the Brigade project didn't really work for me, because I felt limited in what I can do vocally, because it was really a shred show off type of band with the guitar player, the bass player, and the drummer. And I was playing a limited role in the vocal end of it and what I was, able to do. Live, we, let loose a little bit more, which was good, but still it was more like showcasing the guitar more so than the vocals. So I was like, yeah, it didn't feel right. So I left, and I went to a band called Pistol Whip. Me and a guy named Mike. Yeah, no. Yeah, everybody laughed when we tell them the name and stuff. But yeah.
That's funny.
It was, and our logo was even funnier. It had like a pistol with the whip on it. They're kind of crossing each other.
Shit.
So, yeah.
So that could be a conversation for our other show, right, Lisa?
Yes, Mistress Business. Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and people got a kick out of it, so they're like, oh, okay. But we kind of just laughed, and all right, that's the logo. But Pistol Whip was a bluesy rock and roll band.
Yeah.
And that's when I really found myself vocally. But by the time that happened, it was around 1991. And the scene was starting to die out. So in 92 was when the Seattle grunge scene took over. And it just kind of decimated everything in Los Angeles. And that was it. The whole hair metal thing was over. KNAC went off the air, and once that happened, that was like the final nail in the coffin. And then all the grunge bands took over, and music as we knew it was completely different. So
yeah, it was like upside down. The upside down.
Yeah,
I was
pretty
like,
much.
Yeah, what is this? What the hell?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, because everyone was used to like pizzazz and flash and glitzy, in your face, loud guitars, attitude, that sort of thing.
Right.
Drugs, sex, and rock and roll. I mean, that's how it was. And then here come these Seattle guys wearing flannels, looking like a bunch of dirty hippies and stuff that just came back from Woodstock, and they changed the whole scene. Became a lot more low end stuff, and the glamorization of like heavy drugs like heroin and stuff were reintroduced to the youth. And I don't know if that was a bad thing. I think it was, but I don't know. It's just my opinion. Other people out there probably say something different, but yeah. So once the Seattle scene took over, I mean, music was different. It changed the whole landscape.
Yeah, it sure did.
To be fair to them, there was an oversaturation of hair metal bands towards the end there, and it was getting a little cheesy. So in that aspect, I think that, it might have been a good thing in that it made people go back and reinvent themselves and be more creative in what they were putting out there, because I think towards the end, everyone was mimicking everyone, and the creativity was sort of lacking, and that wasn't good. And I think that's what brought its demise, really.
Yeah.
So when you heard stuff like Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots and Soundgarden, it was different. It sounded fresh to everybody, and that's why everybody embraced it. And that was it.
Yeah.
But then after that, we went through some weird phases, like the rap metal and the boy bands and, the Alanis Morissettes. And the No Doubts and all that.
I laugh as you say boy bands.
I know what you're doing.
Backstreet Boys was actually my first concert back in '97. So, yeah,
wow.
I laugh. I laugh about that all the time. And then Backstreet Boys, and then my very next concert was Kiss. So,
woo!
So you saw the Backstreet Boys and you saw Kiss.
Yeah, like within months.
Was there any comparison, or I don't know? I'm just curious.
Well, after I saw Kiss, after seeing the Backstreet Boys and all that, I was like, damn it, they need to kiss Gene Simmons' boots, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, once you see a Kiss concert, it sort of puts everything in perspective. There really isn't too many shows that come close, except for maybe Maiden and Priest back in the day used to put on a killer show.
Yeah,
I heard that ELO would give Kiss a run for their money with the light show and everything.
Oh yeah. ELO is good. I saw them a couple times, and Jeff Lynne. And the thing that made that show amazing was that they're like a mini orchestra. There's like 12 people.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
They were great.
That's very cool. Absolutely.
So when back to the history here that you guys asked me about. So in the 90s, I took a break for a little bit. I went to San Francisco and I left LA because I was depressed. And I didn't know whether I wanted to come back to LA or not, because I just couldn't deal with the changeover and stuff. So when I went up to Frisco, I was looking to audition for any bands up there that were in the vein that I wanted, and I didn't really find anything because it was so extreme. It was either like Death Angel, like really super heavy and aggressive, or it was like Faith No More, like very experimental. So there was no in between really, and it didn't really pan out for me up there. So I ended up moving back down to LA and came back to Hollywood. And when I came back to Hollywood, I joined a band called Road Angel, and I jammed with them for about probably a year and a half. The cool thing about that was that we started opening up for big bands again. We were opening up for like Rhino Bucket, Stephen Percy's like solo project, Arcade, Bang Tango.
I love Bang Tango. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. They're
just like you.
Yeah, they're very, very underrated.
Yes, but they're really good though.
They are. So after that happened, I joined a band called Desire, and that's when things started clicking again, like clicking on a really like higher level, because the songs were good. We gigged a lot. We were a very, very hard-working band, and we would play like 2 or 3 shows every weekend, and it was consistent. So I remember like 1997, 98 was a good time for us because we went all over Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego area. We even went into the Phoenix and Vegas area and up to, portions of Northern California. So we were all over, California, Vegas, Phoenix area, making a name for ourselves. And we eventually ended up releasing our album, our debut album, which was 15 songs on our own label, which was Kickorama Records, and that was in 2002. Our CD release party was opening up for Rick Emmett of Triumph at the
Get Out. I love it.
Yes, I love Triumph. Yes,
that was really cool. So we opened up for them at trying to remember the name of the place. It was in Tarzana. It was a real popular place. Oh, Palladino's. I'm sorry, there it is. So Palladino's was the place that we did that show at, and that was pretty much it. After we did the CD release party, there was plans of going on tour and stuff, but it didn't pan out because my bass player got accepted to Harvard, and he ended up moving. Wow. Yeah, he ended up moving back east, and he said he was going to go to school. So he ended up going to Harvard. He graduated, he got married, got divorced, and I found out that in 2019, he passed away in his sleep.
Oh man!
No.
Yeah, and he's out in your area. He was living in Maryland, not Baltimore area, but closer to like DC, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But so then Desire was together for like 7 years, and we made some noise, and after that happened, I think it was like 2002, 2003. I stopped playing music in order to raise my daughter. And I felt that it was important because, me and my ex talked about, coming together and, being there for her. And so I sacrificed everything and I put everything on the back burner and I took care of my little girl. So that was happening until like 2014 when she got older and she already graduated from high school at that point. I figured I'd revive my career again because I was still writing songs. I just wasn't playing out. So around 2013, 2014, I started devising a plan to get Wikkid Starr off the ground. The original idea, though, started in 2007 with me and Ashlyn Childs, who plays in a band called Black Star Sinners now. And Ash plays guitar for him. So we were the original founders of Wikkid Starr. And Bill Crodell was the guy that produced the first 4 songs on the first album. And Bill's worked with like Gilby Clarke, the Bullet Boys, Rat. Yeah, he's got a great track record. The problem with Bill, though, was that he had cancer, and he didn't tell us that he had cancer. So he ended up passing away before we finished the entire first Wikkid Starr album. So once Bill went, Ashlyn, I think, went MIA at the same time. So it was like a double whammy for me. So Ashlyn disappeared, Bill died, and then I was thinking, like, should I continue with this or not? So I played some of this stuff to my friends that were in other bands and stuff that were, professional musicians had been playing for a while. And they told me, keep it going. They liked the songs, they liked the songwriting, and they said, yeah, just go full bore and go balls out. So that's exactly what I did.
Yes.
In 2013, 2014, I hired a publicist, and we went over a strategy of how to, go into South America and revive my career. And that's exactly what we did. So we targeted Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. And that was going to be the launching point for Wikkid Starr. And once that happened and I was able to secure some shows over there, that was it. I never stopped since then. And that happened in 2015. Summer of 2015 was when I went to Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. And I went on this promotional tour promoting the first Wikkid Starr album, which was Collision Course. So the first 4 songs were written with Ashlyn Childs, and the last 4 songs were written with other musician friends of mine in order to complete the album. So Collision Course was a combination of a few musicians that came together and helped me out on it. But of course, I did all the vocals and wrote all the lyrics like I always do. And I co-produced it with Bill and Ash. And that's how it came to be. But when I went back to Argentina in 2016, I did 3 shows. I headlined 2 shows, and then I opened up for Jeff Scott Soto at the Roxy in Buenos Aires, and it was sold out. And it was cool doing a show with Jeff because we had 2 Americans on the bill, and I'm like, all right, we're just going to tear this place up, and that's exactly what we did.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a great feeling.
That's really cool. I'm a big Jeff Scott Soto fan. Every time I hear that name, I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, whoa.
He's a great singer. I mean, he's so underrated. He doesn't get credit for being as good as he is, but yeah, he can wail. I mean, effortlessly. I got to witness that on that particular night, and he had a great supporting band with him. Yeah, he had a guitar player by the name of Jorge Salon, I think his name is, and he's like a well known in Europe. He comes from Spain, and he rips. He's very melodic. He can shred, but he can also lay back and get bluesy and stuff. So,
so cool.
Yeah, he is. He's really good all the way around. He's not just a shred guy, but he's also a very tasteful guitarist in other ways and other genres.
Well, it's cool because I first noticed Jeff Scott Soto when he did the soundtrack for Rockstar. I'm like, oh my God, like I've never heard vocals like that in my life, right? And then I know that he did a stint with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I got to actually see him perform one day, and that was super cool. But yeah, Jeff Scott Soto, like you said, highly underrated. I would love to go see him in concert again.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's a good guy. I was sort of hesitant to talk to him when we were backstage, and until someone came out and said that he wanted to talk to me, and I was like, oh no. And the reason why I was a little hesitant was because I think it was in 2008 or 2009, I believe. I'm not sure. It was one of those years where Paul Stanley did a rock and roll camp at the House of Blues in Hollywood.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I went to that, and I ran into Jeff, and we have a mutual friend that we know, and she knew that I was going to go see Paul Stanley. So she said, if you see Jeff there, because I think she knew that he was going to be there, she's like, tell him I said hi. So this is a female friend that we both know. So when I went and I said that to him.
Uh-oh. I think he froze a little bit. Oh no, shake the machine. Oh Lordy. So if you're watching,
it ain't a front row promotion show if something doesn't happen. So there
yes, it's always technical. Something has to happen, or it's just not a front row promotion show. So anybody's that's making a post or asking a question, I see that you're saying some people are saying some things, but I don't have your name. If you can please put your name next to your comment or your question, so that way we know, so Toney knows who to respond to. So we have someone saying LA loves you. If you can put that, he'll come back in.
Yep.
LA loves you, Toney. If you can let me know what your name is. And also someone said, hi, Toney. So let me know who you are. That way he knows, and, he'll say, oh, cool.
And
that's you.
I just want to give a shout out actually to my mom, because I saw her come up a couple times.
Yes.
For those of you watching, if you haven't figured this out yet, because I've been saying it on every damn show, whether it's here or whether it's on Mistress Business, shout out to my mom. She actually sponsored us to make our Nashville trip a reality this past year. So
thank you so much.
We really
Mom.
appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Very, very appreciative
big
of
hearts.
that.
Yes.
And little teaser, Mom is going to be in Nashville with us next year when Rock and Pod happens. So
awesome.
That's right. That's right. So she'll get to see what we do. It's one thing to see it online, but to see us in action, in person, it's a whole other ball game. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Being there.
But
just
okay, we got another comment. Who do we have here? Yes, my mom, of course.
Absolutely. Amy says hi. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Amy?
Hi, Amy. Hi, Amy. Doot, doot, doot. Hi,
Amy. Amy knows the drill. If you're tuned in through Facebook, like Lisa said, put your name next to your comment so that Toney knows who to respond to.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. So, why don't we, let's do a couple fun questions to keep things going here until we get Toney back. So this is for all the new viewers who don't know what the hell we're all about, okay? We do a segment with a whole bunch of fun questions. And one of the questions that we always ask on this show, Lisa, that we call it the Cola Wars. Okay, so if you're watching, Mom, no need to comment because I know what your answer is. But
and I love Mom's answer because you know why.
Yes, of course you do. Yeah, of course you do. And Lori Buckley. Hi, Lori. Thank you for tuning in. She says, I was introduced to Toney's music in LA. I've been a fan ever since. Yeah, right on cue. There you go.
Awesome.
But yeah, so the Cola Wars. For those of you watching, chime in. Do you like Coke or do you like Pepsi? Okay. Honest answers only. Mom, yes. we know you love Pepsi. We got it. We got it.
And if you don't drink Coke or Pepsi, try to pick one.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Are you good there, Toney?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Oh,
Now it's my end with the dogs.
Yes, and the dogs are happy. We got Toney back.
You need to get your dog some treat.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to take him outside. Kandi, take it away.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you said this or not. I'm not sure if it came up in your speech there, but can you tell us what your first concert was? Like, what was the first show that you ever attended?
Kiss Alive 2, 1978
yeah!
at the Forum in Los Angeles.
That is awesome.
Cheap Trick opened up. My aunt, her boyfriend took me. Yeah, it was great. I mean, as a little kid seeing that, it was so mind blowing. Like I said, once you see that, there's no other concert that can really compare to it.
Exactly.
Although I liked Van Halen when I saw them. I mean, they didn't have like all the pyro and stuff, but just like musically, like as far as energy and stuff, Roth and Eddie and Michael Anthony and Alex were great as far as like exuding, just pure energy as a band. Yeah. They were just awesome. It's hard to describe. I mean, combined, all four of them combined, just it was just potent. It was so potent. Yeah. It sounded so polished and so tight. It just kicks your ass.
Oh, absolutely. Now, with regards to Van Halen, I know there's a difference of opinion. The fans are kind of divided over, okay, who's a Sammy fan or who's a David Lee Roth fan. Which lineup did you prefer?
I mean, without a doubt, it's definitely Roth. I mean, Van Halen would have never made it without Dave and Eddie. They were the chemistry. They were the glue that kept it together and made them successful. Michael and Alex played an important role as well. The rhythm section was strong. Michael Anthony's backup vocals, they were unique. It was awesome.
Really, really cool. Awesome. All right, Lisa, back over to you.
Okay. I need to know the name. How did you come up with the name of Wikkid Starr?
Well, we didn't want it to sound like evil or anything. That's why we didn't spell it like Wicked. So we wanted to trip out the wicked portion of it. And the way I thought of it was, like Wiccan. I wanted it to sound more like Wiccan, okay. Or going back to the old terminology of what they used to say a long time ago before, I guess I was born. They used to say like wicked, like was cool, They substituted that word for cool. Those pants are really wicked, or your car looks really wicked,
Yeah, I've heard that expression before. It's wicked, man. It's wicked. Or
yeah,
it's sick,
yeah.
Or they say it's sick.
Yeah.
Wicked or sick, yeah.
That was like an old term that people used to use. So yeah. I figured, okay, let's call it Wikkid Starr,
I love it.
Yeah.
It has a good ring to it. It does.
Yeah, and then, so now we're sort of separating ourselves from the traditional meaning of what wicked means. And, people are always asking, why did you spell it like that? Because we wanted to, differentiate between the two. That's why. That's
cool. I like it. I think it's cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was thinking if we would take a moment and share a video to let people know what your music sounds like.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have a particular song that you want to pick from?
Video?
Yeah.
Are we talking new video or old video or?
It could be whatever one you want.
Since we're talking about the Return to Glory album, let's stick with that.
Return to Glory, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the video, and here we go. I'm going to turn this around so I can put it.
Yeah, and again, disclaimer: we have to say this for every show. We don't own the music. We have permission to play it in the show. So Facebook, the powers that be, don't come at us.
Don't take it off.
Don't do that crap.
Yes.
Please, Mark, please.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. There it is. All right. And let me crank it up. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. Oh, wow. Absolutely amazing.
You like that?
I do.
Yeah, I love it. I love the effects. That's really cool. I love it.
I love it. Especially the fireworks. That was really neat. I like it. Yes. Right after 4th of July. Woo!
There you go.
That is so
after
cool.
Canada Day too, so.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, so what we do on this show, Toney, we have a second segment with a whole bunch of fun questions, silly questions where we can let loose, right? So when you dropped off there for a second, we asked a question and people kind of chimed in on it. But Toney, if you had to choose Coke or Pepsi, what would you prefer?
reminds me of the cola wars.
That's what we do here. That's what we call it, the cola wars.
Do you guys remember Tab?
Yeah.
Tab. Yep.
Yep. I would pick Coke.
Oh, buddy!
Toney!
Yes.
You guys like Pepsi? You guys like Pepsi?
Me. I like Pepsi. She likes Coke.
Really? Sorry.
Now, see, I'll drink Coke if there's no Pepsi.
Wow.
But my preference is Pepsi.
We were joking earlier, Lisa and I I told her, if you ask that question of a guest that is from Pennsylvania, they'll probably say RC Cola.
Yeah. Yeah.
RC, yeah.
RC Cola used to be huge. Gas. That was like number 3, I think, but behind Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah. RC is good too. Yeah.
Okay, another fun question. Toney, if you were stranded on a deserted island,
what
5 items would you want to bring with you?
Stranded on a deserted island.
Mm-hmm.
What year is it?
Whatever you want it to be.
Okay. Stranded on a deserted island.
It could be practical. It could be something that you want. Like whatever comes to mind. What would you want to bring?
A stereo system that includes cassettes, CD player, record player.
Yes.
Obviously with speakers that can play the music.
Speakers.
Yes.
Album collection and CD collection of my choice, along with the cassettes and LPs and 45s as well.
There you go.
Let's see what else. A guitar, an amplifier, a mic, a drum set, a bass, a keyboard.
I love it.
That's good.
A notebook with a pen.
What'd you say?
A notebook with a pen so I can write.
For your writing, yeah.
Yeah. Some good books. I think that's more than 5, but I'm kind of going off on all this.
That's okay. Well, that's perfect. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that would be my paradise, I guess.
There you go.
Nice. I love it.
Now we have another crazy question for you, Toney. If you were in a hot tub time
what?
machine,
Uh-oh.
and you're gonna set the dial, where you go?
I didn't hear you.
Lou, can you?
Okay.
You kind of cut out there for a sec.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. If you're in a hot tub time machine and you're setting the dial, where are you going?
Hot tub time machine?
Yeah.
Is this like a party setting?
Yeah, you could go forward, you could go backward, anywhere you want to go. This is your setting, and you're setting it to go wherever. It's
1988 Hollywood. Some house in the Hollywood Hills where every big rock star that ever made it was there.
Awesome. Perfect.
We're just having a great time.
I love it. Yes.
Now, Toney, let's take that one step further. Who would be in the hot tub with you?
Who would be in the hot tub with me? 1988. Wow. David Lee Roth, Robert Plant, Paul Stanley.
Paul Stanley.
I love it.
As far as girls go, maybe Heather Thomas, Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett, yes.
Yes.
People like that, I guess.
Perfect. Good choices. Very cool. Lisa, I'm going to steal one from your question list.
Sure.
Toney, what's on your bucket list?
Bucket list?
Yeah.
Travel the world.
Love that.
Yep.
Oh, she's
yes.
Oh.
Absolutely.
And I've been to a lot of places, but yeah, there's still quite a few that are left that I want to hit before I go.
Can you share with us some of those places that you want to hit before?
Cool.
Yeah. So I want to go to Iceland. I want to go to New Zealand.
How about Canada?
I've been to Canada. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Toronto. Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
cool.
Actually, speaking of Toronto, Lisa, speaking of Toronto, can you pull up that question that my mom posted?
Yes. Just
real quick.
Yeah. Give me my hold on.
So yeah, my mom posted a question a little bit earlier on the show. We definitely want to get to that. Got it, Lou?
What's the question?
Yeah. Have you ever played up here in Toronto, and if so, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, once. I did. The fans are awesome. But I'm trying to play the what is it? The Macombo.
Oh the El Macombo. It's a staple here in Toronto.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know who's running that place now, but I think something happened during COVID.
Michael Weckerly. That's who's running it. Michael Weckerly. He was what do you call it? What's that show that he was on? Oh, I can't remember. It's like Shark Tank, but up in Canada. But I'll get in touch with you after the show, and I'll send you his name, because he's the guy that runs the place now.
Yeah, because we really want to play that place. I've been wanting to play it for a while because the Stones played there, I believe, in 72, I think it was. And when Jagger played that place, he said it had a good vibe. So it's one of the reasons why I want to play there.
Well, the El Macombo is like the whiskey in Toronto. Like that's our staple, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. And they and during COVID, like you said, it was bought out. Like they were going to tear it down, and everything was going to be gutted. And then Weckerly bought the place, refurbished it. Now there's 2 stages, 2 bars, and it's just bigger and better. It just looks so awesome.
So you've already been in there since they revamped it?
Yeah, I did. It looks the upper level bar looks like it's really, really upscale. The acoustics are great. There's even a balcony. Yeah, that's it's really, really good. And Weckerly shows up too. Like he shows his face quite a bit. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, if you can,
I can get you that.
Make something happen. That would be great.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome.
So so that's where you want to play, but do you remember the venue that you played at by any chance?
I think it was called This Ain't Hollywood or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I've never been there, but yes, I do know about that venue. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
It's not there anymore though.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a COVID casualty, I heard.
Oh man.
Of
course.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, there were a lot of places that had to be closed down because of that shit. But hey, we're here and now, so you know.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Next question.
Next fun question. Go for it. You know what? Actually, I got a question.
Okay.
More along the lines of a serious question. So, Toney, if you had a musician just starting out, and they wanted some good, solid advice as to how to survive in the business, what would you tell them?
Someone that's starting out?
Yeah.
You got to be thick-skinned, and you have to believe in yourself more than you ever have at any point in your life. You're going to get a lot of people that are going to talk a lot of shit, that are going to, make it look like you're not as good as you are because of jealousy or whatever, or they're trying to take something from you that you have, and they're trying to create doubt in other people. So you have to be aware of all those things. It's a very cutthroat industry, and it's not for the weak. It's not for the meek. It's not for for people that just don't have that belief system, that strong tenacity, that mental toughness within them. I mean, you have to have all that. If you don't have it, it's going to be hard for you to survive.
Absolutely. Great advice. Lisa, I think you had a question as well, right?
Yes, I have a few. It's just stacked up to here.
Go for it.
If you could share any stories that you have, like any wild, wicked stories or fun stories that happened on the road or at a show, anything you would like to share?
without getting anybody in trouble. I mean,
yeah.
You
don't have to use no names. You could just use a story or whatever.
There's so many of them. Jeez. I mean, I can go on and on. I think that would be like maybe something I can share off the record.
Okay.
No, really. I wouldn't want to throw anybody under the bus. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I understand. Yeah, we do.
Can you maybe share like a funny interaction that you had with a fan? Like, because you must have seen your fair share of weirdness at shows, right?
I'll share this with you.
Okay.
So I went to an underground glam club in San Francisco in the late 80s. It was called 16. It was on Folsom. And the San Francisco glam scene is a lot different than Los Angeles or Hollywood. It's more like London, where you get a lot of people that are, bisexual, and some are homosexuals. So when I went up there, I went with a girlfriend of mine named Laura, and when we walked in, we looked at everybody, and everybody was hip. Everybody looked great. A lot of good-looking people. Everybody's into rock and roll, big hair, makeup. So as the night progressed, we were hanging towards the bar area. Laura went to the bathroom, and then I was ordering a drink for both of us. And as I'm sitting there ordering a drink, I felt somebody grab my ass.
Oh no!
And I was like, and I thought it was Laura coming back from the bathroom.
Yeah.
So when I turn around and I look, it's some guy, dressed up, all glammed out and stuff, and he grabbed my ass and he's smiling, like thinking that I'm gay or something.
Thinking that you like it. Oh no.
Yeah, and what I didn't know was that Laura saw the whole thing because she'd already been back from the bathroom, and she was just laughing because she thought it was funny. So when I turned around, I looked at the guy, and I'm not gay at all. Anybody that knows me knows that I've always loved women, and there's no gay bone in me. So when I turned around and I looked at him, Laura got scared because she saw that look in my eye where she thought I was going to really kick his ass and like hurt him. So she jumped in and she intervened because she saw me like redline, and she jumped between me and the guy and said, "Don't do it." He didn't know. and the guy's just looking at me, and he's like, "Yeah." And I told him, "I'm not from San Francisco. I'm from LA." And when I said that, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, because he knew what that meant. And like I said, the glam scene in Los Angeles was completely different. If we wore makeup and we looked like chicks, it didn't mean that we didn't like them. It meant that we did like them. In San Francisco, it meant a little different.
So, a different meaning behind it.
Yes. Oh. So it was more like London. It was more like, the Europeans thing that happens out there. And, Hollywood, when I grew up, was not like that. I mean, you had maybe some people that were into that, but the majority of people were not. So, yeah, big difference between the LA glam scene and San Francisco glam scene.
Wow. Little things you learn.
One.
That's so cool. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Wow. So is there anybody you want to collaborate with? People, or have you collaborated with anyone that you want to collaborate with again?
I Okay, so I wrote a song for an audition for Michael Wilton's solo project from Queensryche. The song was called No More Crying, and it was about the 9/11 thing. And I still have it with me. The reason I can't release it was because their management company said I couldn't because Michael wrote the music. But then the way I argued it was that I wrote the lyrics and the vocal melody, and since I recorded it, I should be able to release it on my own. But they said no because it was on Michael's solo album, and they had the singer that they wanted. And I don't know if you ever listened to that song, and you listen to that vocalist. I think what I did was a lot better than what he did, but I didn't get the gig. They went with that guy, and I think the reason they didn't pick me was because the song sounded too much like Queensryche vocally, just the subject matter and everything. So, and I think Michael was trying to get away from that.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, but I've also collaborated with Robert Sweet from Stryper. Who's the other guy?
Sweet?
Yeah, Michael Sweet from Stryper. We were going to put a band together. We recorded 8 songs with my engineer. His name is Raphael DiGiorgio, and he has his own studio, Diamond Dream Studios, in the Carbon Canyon area of California. And that's where we recorded the drum tracks. But what happened was Stryper wasn't doing anything at the time. And then I think about a month into what me and Robert were working on, he got a call from his brother saying that they were going to go on tour in South America. And that was it. And once that happened, Stryper became, really popular again, doing a lot of shows and things like that. But and then I also was working with Derek Frigo from Enough's Enough before he OD'd and passed away. So that was unfortunate. So I've collaborated with some big rock stars and stuff, but it just, never really materialized. And it's okay, because I always wanted to do my thing anyways. I like being in control and doing what I want to do, because I'm experienced and seasoned enough at this point in my career where I know what I want, I know what it should sound like, and I've been in the studio many times now, and I've co-produced a couple albums now, and I know what I want. And the last album, was really, really good, and that was a combination of me, my drummer, and my guitarist. So Return to Glory is probably going to be the direction that I want to go in for maybe one more album. And then after that, we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to a blues-based rock and roll.
Awesome. I really like the song Feel the Vibe. I like that one. It has good beat.
Do you really?
I like that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the message behind it. And the beat's good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So Lisa and Toney, we are actually running out of time. We just have a few more minutes left here. Toney, what is next for you and Wikkid Starr?
We're going to write album number 4. This will be the second album for Lions Pride. We're signed to the Lions Pride music label based out of Denmark. So this should be pretty good. I think everybody's focused now. Everybody's hungry. We got a taste of what it's like with the first album. I think this next one will be just as good, if not better. Everyone's pretty laser focused right now and working on other projects as well, including myself. So it's going to be good. I think we're going to muster up some good creative juices on our end and put it out there, and we'll let the fans decide on what they think.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. Now, for those of us watching and tuned in today, where can you be found? Can you plug your website and all your socials?
We're on every major social media site, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our YouTube channel has all of our music, our videos up to now. We'll be working on some new videos that we're going to be putting out. So yeah, I mean, just go there. You can, talk to us if you want. Send us an email. You can find out where we're going to gig at, and if you want to purchase the music, you can go to iTunes, Apple Music, Google Music, Amazon, all the major sites. We're there.
Awesome. Cool.
Do you have any merch, any tank tops and things like that?
Oh yeah. Our album cover, the Return to Glory album cover is what we're pushing right now, and then we also have some shirts with our logo on it, and
Awesome.
we're going to release some shirts with the first 2 album covers on there as well. So
wonderful.
We're going to have a different variety, so people can choose what it is that they want. But the Return to Glory shirt will probably go for like $30, only because there's a lot of color in it.
Yeah.
But it's a badass design. It does cost quite a bit to make them. So the reason we're charging $30 is because it's what's costing. That's what it's costing us on our end. So
I mean,
that's
pretty reasonable though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not too bad. So who designed that? That's really. I'm looking in space. I'm looking at this at the TV because I'm looking at the next song, the Feel the Vibe, and it's just a lot in there. It's graphic. I mean, who created that?
This guy named Joe Mello. I think I butchered his name, but his company is called Sledgehammer Ledge, and they're based out of Brazil. And he's a really, really good graphic artist, and he's done a lot of album covers for a lot of metal bands.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's very, very colorful, very, very a lot going on, and it's nice. It takes your eye. It is really nice. I like it.
Thank you. You need to buy one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will. As long as you make it in a tank top form. See, that's all I wear.
You want it in tank top form, you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, Toney, I mean, I got to tell you, after a crappy day, it was nice to just sit here and hang and get to know you. What a pleasure it is to meet you. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You guys are awesome. Continue. Hopefully, we'll do this again.
Absolutely. Our door is always open. You're welcome to join us anytime you'd like.
And you're more than welcome to come back anytime. Also, you're more than welcome to post anything on our page on Front Row Promotions.
I certainly will.
Share, and share away.
That'll work. Yeah, I'll plug some of our albums and our merch.
Okay, that's perfect. Yes,
anything you want.
Yes, you got it.
Sweet.
I have one last question.
Go ahead.
And that question is, if you weren't doing, what's that?
Is it an M3 question?
No.
Okay.
Were you at M3?
No.
We would like to play M3, but I guess that's up to the promoter.
That would be good. That would be the best. I would love to see you guys at M3. If I had anything to say about it or to do about it, I would definitely get you in here. But yeah, word, whoever listens to Front Row Promotions can pick up and get you into M3.
There you go. So what was your question?
Okay, my question is, if you weren't doing music, if you weren't a musician, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing music, what would I be doing?
Yes.
Well.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Well.
He's like, gynecologist. No.
I like helping people. Would you say a gynecologist?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. A gynecologist would actually be pretty cool, but yeah. It's a lot of schooling though.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I think I like to help people, and I want to leave the world a better place. So I would say something to do with humanitarian efforts around the world.
Absolutely.
Like maybe working for the Red Cross or UNICEF or Greenpeace, something like that. The UN. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yes. You're amazing. Super, super cool. Love that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. You are too.
Thank you. So we appreciate you coming to Front Row Promotions, and you're welcome to come back time and time again.
Definitely will. And next time I'll have a beer.
Yes, we'll all do a cheers. You got that right. We'll do that. We'll do a cheers.
Just make sure it's a Guinness.
Oh, you Guinness? Okay.
Yeah.
Mine, I drink Coors Light.
We need to invite
Coors Light's good too. That's my summer beer.
Yes. It's got to be ice cold and top the Rockies. The Rockies have got to do blue. It's got to be ice cold.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
What'd you say, Kandi?
I was going to say if he's gonna bring Guinness, we got to invite Eric Martin.
Oh, hot damn!
Hey,
Black Kandi.
Call him. That sounds good. I wouldn't mind talking to Eric over Guinness.
Oh, that's so cool. We got to try to hook that up, Kandi.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
So Lisa is going to put a bow on this. Tony, if you don't mind just staying online for a quick second when we're off, we end the show. That'd be great.
And we
no problem.
Okay. All right. So thank you all for watching Front Row Promotions. Thank you all for listening to all of our fun stories and everything that we do here. Thank you so much, Toney, for coming to Front Row Promotions. We're so glad to have you here. And also, we want to have you back. So thank you again. And you have been watching a wonderful interview with all three of us. Ooh, Front Row Promotions. Bye now.